motto. Look at that baby.
You folks keep watching Western States Sportsman. This is your man.
I got him.
Hey folks, this next hunt is a hunt of mine where we're actually hunting elk in Idaho. Now this was a real exciting hunt for me. I actually had my wife along and she was running the camera, and she just had maybe a little 5-minute training session on the camera before we headed out. And it was, you know, we didn't expect it to happen the way it did, and it was memories that'll last a lifetime for me. Now we got up early that morning and we wanted to get to a water hole before daylight. So we'd hike down this big ridge, and we got down to this water hole and we got all set up, and it was warm. It was still the first part of September, and so it was warm, and we sat there and we did some cow calling. We threw out a few little bugles just to see if we could get anything to respond, and we didn't see a thing, we didn't hear a thing. It was really slow. So we decided we were going to hike up over the next ridge and try to see what was on the other side. Well, we had hiked, it probably took us 30-40 minutes to get over the top of this ridge. Now when you come over the top, it's really bare open on the other side. We'd glassed across there and we'd seen 3 nice raghorn bulls that were feeding on the other side hill. And I'd got out that little, it was a little wooden "Who's Your Daddy" by Bugle and Bull game calls. Well, we're out in the middle of the open. And I knew as soon as he got to the bottom of that ridge and tried to come up to us that he'd see us, and he'd be 100 yards away and we wouldn't be able to get a shot. So I told her, I said, we need to get down off of this ridge before that elk gets to us. So we gather up all the stuff, and we're dropping stuff, we're stuffing stuff in our pockets, and we start running down this ridge, and there's these couple bull moo cows, and they start running alongside of us, and so everybody's running down this hill, and I'm thinking, oh, them elk are going to be gone. Well, we got to the bottom, and off in the distance I could see this big pine tree that I knew would be a good spot for us to hold up. Just as I was looking to head across the little clearing to that pine tree, I happened to see antlers coming through the tree. And this is when I told my wife, she was running the camera, I said, you know, there he is, and this is the part where we kind of had a little bit of a standoff. Let's go check this out. at this point, I didn't know for sure if I'd even hit the elk. My wife just said, I got it all on camera, and so I thought, well, we can replay the footage and see. But I never really heard anything thump, or, you know, every now and then you'll hear, when you shoot, you'll hear your arrow hit the animal. At this point, I really didn't know for sure. I felt pretty confident about the shot, but I wasn't positive if we'd actually even made a good shot or made a shot period on the animal. So let's go see what happens.
We just found my arrow. It's got bubbles, so we're good. We're gonna give it about a half hour, then we're gonna go look for him. Mellow yellow, bugle and bull. Did the job.
Now, after finding my arrow, I was really excited that we made a good shot. But I figured, you know, still, I want to give it time. I want to give it an hour. It'd probably take us an hour to hike back to the wall tent and get my brother Brian and Katie. And so we decided, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We had taken off and hiked back up to the wall tent and got everybody together. Now, we came back to the spot and we could not find any blood. We had the blood on the arrow, but we could not find any blood anywhere on the bushes or anywhere where his tracks were or anything. So we decided, well, let's let's just start circling. There's 4 of us here, and let's just start kind of doing a grid type thing. And so we did that. We looked around. We did all kinds of things, and at this point, I'm starting to get that knot in your stomach where you really don't feel good. You feel like you'd made a good shot, but you can't figure out what happened. So after about an hour of that, I told my wife, I says, if you find any blood at all, make sure to let me know. Well, all of a sudden, I'm clear down the bottom of this canyon, I hear this screaming, and I'm thinking, oh, she found it, you know. So I go running up there, and she'd actually found some blood. And this is the point where we started kind of following the little bit of blood that she had found. Let's go watch this. Well, probably closer to an hour we had to hike out. We got a good shot on him. I've got foam all over my arrow, and that means it's probably a double lunger. So he didn't go far. I heard him crash. Steel force, fat head, did its job. We're on some blood right here. He couldn't be much farther. This right up here is where I heard the crash. So let's head over there and see what we've got. There's some blood right here. Well, here he is. I found him. Everything come together. It all worked. Starting to get warm though. We've got to get him cut up and get him out of here. What a fun hunt. We seen him over here on the ridge. There was 3 bulls, and I did a couple calls on the Who's Your Daddy by Bugle and Bull, and 2 of them looked up instantly and came off the hill. A few more calls, and the 3rd one come off the hill, and this was actually the 3rd one that come off. He was the biggest of the 3. We hurried and got down off the ridge and got over by a pine tree, and I told Misty, she's running the camera, and I says, be ready, because they're going to be right here somewhere. And I blew 1 cow call, instantly come right up on top. He kind of hung up on us for a minute because he heard us move. Then he slowly come around the tree, and that's when you see me make a good shot. Well, this was awesome. What a fun hunt. It's September 12th. We come down here a Friday night. We had to pack in, and we hiked about 3 ridges over, and we could see these elk on the far ridge over here. And so we did a couple cow calls, and they responded. And so we knew these were potential of calling in these elk. So we headed over the ridge, and once we got to the ridge, we called again, and 2 bulls instantly come right off the hill. And so as soon as they disappeared in the bottom, this 3rd one was still watching us, and we just waited for him to disappear. He finally decided to join the other 2 bulls. We waited for him to disappear down in the bottom, and then we hurried and got off the hill because we was right on the skylight. So once we come up the hill, I did a few more cow calls, and we could hear them crashing around down in here. And there was a few more bulls behind us bugling.
And so I told Misty, she's running the camera, and I told her get ready because I could hear him coming up. And blew the cow call, and they instantly just come right up the hill. He heard us move, and so he paused for a minute, and then he went ahead and stepped out, and I made a really good shot on him, about 28 yards. Double lunged him. Still force fathead did its job. He went probably, oh, he probably went 70, 80 yards downhill. Went right off the edge of the hill here. So we finally found him, and I did make a good hit on him. We just wanted to make sure because I couldn't really tell exactly from replaying the footage what had happened. So very excited about him. This is not my biggest bull, but it is my first bull on film, and so I'm very excited about it. And we better get to work on this bad boy. All right, well, we got her done. Took us about 3 hours to get this all cut up. We quartered it, got it on a couple wheelers here, and now we're gonna head for the freezer. So I guess we're ready to go.
Wow, was that an exciting hunt or what? Hey folks, thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on Western States Sportsman, www.westernstatesportsman.com. Also, if you have any archery needs or questions or concerns, make sure to give me a shout out at www.whitetiparchery.com. Thanks again for watching.
Yamamoto. Look at that baby.
You folks keep watching Western States Sportsman. This is your man.
I got him.